Hey, welcome back to the Zombie Tactics channel. Today with a do-it-yourself kit, the first of many, I hope. I know a lot of people have sent me email and private messages and sometimes video comments saying, "Hey, I like the Lazy, Late, and Cheap series, but it's too much money or something. You know, do you have something cheaper still?" And you promised me you were going to start showing me how to do some do-it-yourself projects. Man, when's that going to happen? Well, consider this the first installment in this. And this installment is going to be pretty doggone cheap, and you can get on it right away. So we'll fit the late principle, maybe requiring you to be a little less lazy, but I promise not very much. Well, one of the gold standards for food preppers has always been products like the Mountain House freeze-dried or dehydrated products. Wise brand makes this. There's some other brands as well. And the reason for that is obvious. I mean, this stuff will keep for 7 years, and all you need to have is hot water, and you've got food. And it's fairly nutritionally complete. Most of the recipes actually have meat in them, a fair number of calories. There's 2 servings in this, and this particular pack has 290 calories per serving. So, you know, that's pretty typical. You'll find them ranging from about 200 to about 300 calories per serving. So that's almost 600 calories in this. We're away for 7 years and it's good to go. Sturdy pack, Mylar type bag, not a problem. Easy to put away. But as I've shown before, about the cheapest you can get these is about $4 a piece, and that's only if you're buying like that special Costco package that I showed you in a previous video. Typically, these are going to cost you more money than that. $6 to $8 is not unusual at all for these Mountain House prepared meals. Good product, but maybe a little bit pricey, which is one of the reasons we're looking for other options. Well, if you look around, you'll find these Knorr brand products. They're usually some kind of a pasta or rice. That package is empty because we had it the other night for dinner. Again, some more different pastas of various flavors. There's a creamy garlic chicken flavor. There's an Italian shrimp scampi style with a fettuccine sauce, a Parmesan, cheddar broccoli. Some of them will actually have a small amount of vegetables. They also make these other series called Sides Plus, which include vegetables. As a matter of fact, per serving, it's one full serving of vegetable in addition to whatever pasta or noodles, or pasta and noodles, I guess it's the same thing, or rice or whatever they're putting in the package. And if you look around, you'll find these things typically for about $1 a piece without even trying at a local store, just a regular, not even a discount grocer. You go to Walmart or something like that, although Walmart's considered kind of a discount grocer, I guess. About $1 a piece, just regular everyday price. That's quite a bit different than paying $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 for one of these. But how do they compare? Well, let's take a look at some of these. About 290 calories in this particular one. The typical Mountain House meal will be 200 to 300 calories. If you look at these, about the same. And there's a couple of differences here. Most of these will call for you to add a teaspoon or a tablespoon of oil to them. You don't have to do that. It's optional. But they give you different calorie breakdowns on the back based upon whether you use the product with just water. That's the calories of the mix only, or what they call as prepared, where you add the oil to it. So somewhere between 200 and 300 calories per one of these too. The rice we had the other night was 240 calories per serving, and 2.5 servings in the package. So, package for package, same number of calories. Well, why is this so much less money than this? It sounds like it's about the same amount of food. Well, in calories it is, and surprisingly, in basic nutritional content so far as fiber and vitamin content, mineral content, things like that, they really are about the same. But one thing that is different, of course, is the Mountain House type or the Wise type of packaging, a lot more robust. A heavy Mylar bag This is a much thinner Mylar container, and so for that reason, there's some money in the container here that you have to worry about. On top of that, most of the Mountain House or Weiss products, or at least those that are the more expensive ones, will typically have some kind of meat in them. None of these are going to have any meat in them, but they do have, going back to some of our earlier principles, the most important thing, which is that they're fairly nutritionally complete and you get a good number of calories. Calories are king, calories are always king before you start worrying about whether there's meat in it or something like that. Another reason why these are more expensive is that there's oxygen absorbers in these. There are no oxygen absorbers in these packages. And another reason for these being more money is that they don't sell as many of these as they sell of these. This is much more of a mass market product than something that Mountain House or Weiss makes. You know, supply and demand, this is going to be more expensive, this is going to be less expensive. Well, the big problem with these, of course, is that they just don't keep as long. You know, if I start taking a look at the due dates on these, most of these have a due date that's about maybe 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years from now. And that's not really great for long-term storage, is it? This will keep 5 to 7 years without any problems at all. Well, what's the big reason why this won't keep as long? It turns out, well, there's too much frickin' oxygen in these packages, and that's what we're going to address today. The Mountain House has the oxygen absorber, and that's the primary reason why it's going to last longer, that and the heavier packaging. I'm going to estimate that using the procedure that I'm going to show you, which is cheap, you're going to be able to, with very little effort, you're going to be able to increase the shelf life of these to something like 4 years without any problems at all. And that's going to significantly alter the value proposition between these two things, if you're willing to put out a little bit of effort. By the way, if you look around in these are about $1 a piece most of the time. I saw these the other day at a local discount grocer. They're everyday price, these Sides Plus ones. I'll roll in a picture here. For 79 cents, I understand 80 cents, 82 cents is not unusual at all. And I've actually seen these, some combination of them, some special on them, occasionally for as little as 50 cents a piece. That is a huge difference in price between these two things. If we can get these to store for longer, it makes it a really great, lazy, late, and cheap option. So what do we need to do to make this store longer? Well, we've got to add an oxygen absorber, right? And I've got a whole brand new package of oxygen absorbers here. We only need a 20 cc size of oxygen absorber for a package this size. If you check the manufacturer's site for these oxygen absorbers, they will recommend a 20 cc oxygen absorber for a container of this size. But what are we going to do? Let's go to the tabletop and I'll show you. So we're going to use our Knorr Sides Plus with veggies, butter and herb rotini with garden vegetables as our example here. Here you've got 2 full servings of vegetables included there. It's a low sodium recipe according to them. You can mix this up with water in just a little bit, and it'll be 260 calories per serving without adding anything other than water. So that's a pretty good value, right? Especially if we can find this for like 50, 60 cents. We're going to bow the bag out here a little bit at the top so that we're only going to cut one side of the bag. And we're going to, towards the middle of the bag, we're going to cut a hole, a slit really, just barely big enough to fit one of these little oxygen absorbers. Boom, boom, boom. There goes the O2 buster in here like that. Did I show that one? It went in there, trust me. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bag and I'm going to push out all the air as best I can, rolling that air out, rolling that air out, rolling that air out. As much air as I can get out of that package. And then on top of that, I'm going to take a good length of duct tape. Get a quality duct tape. I like to use the Gorilla Tape brand because of a couple of reasons. One, the adhesive on it is very thick. You want something with a thick adhesive, not something that's got very little adhesive on it. You want a lot of adhesive, and the fabric material on the back is very tough as well. So, getting most of that air out of the bag just by scrunching it and rolling it, I'm going to stick this piece of duct tape over that slit, and I'm going to press down hard because I'm actually working some of that adhesive into the slit. I may even, roll over it with a battery or a jar or just the roll of tape itself. That is now going to last us considerably longer than the original packaging did. I'm going to guess somewhere around 4 years. I'm just going to fold that over and toss it in a bucket, a plastic bucket, to keep it structurally together. And there you go. I've got my own meal kit I put together for next to nothing. By the way, the cost of the tape is negligible. I'll put a source for these oxygen absorbers online where I found them. I'm getting a quantity of these shipped to my door for about 20 bucks, 250 of them, and that means that I'm going to have approximately about 8 cents to 10 cents a piece, assuming that I waste a couple of them in the process. So a good cheap project. You can put this together for probably about 60, 70 cents per, as opposed to $4 or $5 per Mountain House. That's a Zombie Tactics do-it-yourself project today for the Food Prep for the Lazy, Late, and Cheap series. Preparing you for a world gone dead. That's Zombie Tactics for today, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.